I'm Just Saying is sponsored by Hover.com. Go to gfu.hover.com and get 10% off your entire purchase. FreshBooks. FreshBooks is an easy-to-use online invoicing service that saves you time, gets you paid faster, and makes you look professional. Get started completely for free at freshbooks.com. And by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook by going to audiblepodcast.com/GFQ. Hey everybody, welcome to I'm Just Saying week 66. I'm Andrew Zarian. My hair is looking really good today. Just want to let everybody know.
Yes, we noticed.
After
Andrew.
Friday's horrible heat wave here in the studio, it was 97 degrees. And you two did not have to suffer, but you have in the past suffered on a Monday here.
Yes,
we have.
How you doing, Joe?
I'm okay.
Good?
Yes.
Aggie's on the couch?
Aggie's on the couch getting rubs.
Lon is here with his Mr. Softy t-shirt.
I am. I'm having a good hair day too.
A very good hair day. How's your week, Lon?
It was hot. It was like Africa.
It was hot. It was like Africa hot.
Did you ever track down the guy from last week? We got so many emails from viewers wanting to know if you got your money.
No, we haven't got our money, but we heard from the guy.
I heard from him.
And it's a story that you can't believe. And
yeah,
it's kind of
really talk about it on the air. I don't think, because I might give
it
away.
It involved one of them ending up in the hospital.
Okay.
Yes.
And the other one kind of freaking out.
Kind of having a nervous breakdown.
And we still haven't gotten our money back.
Yes.
I don't believe it. You know what? That would be my story. I'm so sorry, Lon. I can't give you your money. I had a nervous breakdown, and I ended up in the hospital.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm just too pissed off to be tired now. I'm too tired to be pissed off. Yeah, that's it. That's how tired I am.
He apparently he is going through serious depression and issues like that.
Okay.
So he apparently could not get out of bed. Literally could not get out of bed and was suicidal.
But he was able to get out of bed to get the money. That he was.
That was the night before.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I'd be happy. Got $300 in my pocket.
Yeah. So he still has the money, and we have not seen him, but he did call. He did at least answer the phone when I called him last week.
Okay. So, and were you like, where's my money?
No. First, I wanted to know if he was okay.
And then did you say, where's my money?
No, because he was just leaving the psychiatrist's office. And
that's great. You know what? You could stop by.
They were changing
I'm at home right now.
Meds. So, yeah.
Maybe I'm just not, I don't like people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So,
and we probably like them too much.
Yeah, we probably do. So, the AC was working, although Con Ed was definitely cutting the power, because Friday, I normally have our AC set at 74.
Yeah.
And it usually stays there. And Friday afternoon, it was 80 degrees. It was reading 80 degrees. And I had it set on 74.
Yeah.
And it was coming out. And I got a little nervous because I thought it might have broken again. But the fan was working outside and everything, and I could feel the air coming out.
Well,
it was coming out cold.
My AC wasn't pumping out the other day either, but I know that we had some power outages in the area, and they were like pulling back on the amount. Like the AC, electricity was working, but the AC wasn't starting.
It was on, and the air that was coming out was cold, but it was not coming out as strong as it normally does. It normally, I kind of know how it usually comes out, and it was not coming out as strong as it normally does.
So, shall you tell the story or I?
Oh, there's a story.
The story, yes. Well, you notice he's here.
Yes.
And not on his bike trip.
I was very confused because we spoke last week.
Yes.
And
I'm supposed to be in Iowa.
A lot of times I don't listen when people speak.
I realize that.
People know that about me.
Yes.
And I was really confused when I saw Lon was online, was here in New York. And I said, maybe I just didn't listen. I don't want to seem like an idiot and be like, oh, hey, Lon, what's up for today's show? And he goes, what are you talking about? I'm doing my bike ride. So I just let it go. And I had no idea until you guys walked up that he was really here.
He is really here. Okay. I had been going through a severe migraine week. I've been having a bad time. And so yeah, last Sunday, I was telling the story on Monday. We were supposed to go somewhere and I didn't go because I had this horrible migraine.
Yeah.
Tuesday, I felt fine. I woke up with a little bit of a headache Tuesday, but then it cleared up. And Tuesday night, we actually went to see a young woman that I know who is an aspiring stand-up comic. She was appearing at Stand Up New York. So we met our friend Oliver.
We did that Wednesday, actually.
Oh, that was Wednesday? Was that Wednesday?
Yep. Night before the flight.
That's right. It was Wednesday. So that's right, because the migraine came back on Tuesday.
Right.
And then it was gone on Wednesday. So Wednesday night, we went to Stand Up New York with my friend Oliver. And we saw her. We really had a good time. We had a lot of fun. And then he left Thursday. And I was in migraine hell again. So he gets to Chicago.
Okay.
And
you flew to Chicago to go to
Iowa.
To Iowa. He was supposed to be picked up by someone who was supposed to drive him.
That person had canceled. I told you that last week.
Yes.
That had already happened.
Okay, that had happened. Okay.
So I had the ticket to Chicago, so I couldn't really rescind it. So I wasn't going to go like rebook a flight to Iowa.
Yeah, cancel and then, okay.
Right.
So you were going to go from Chicago to Iowa.
I was going to rent a car and
Okay.
go from Chicago to Iowa.
So he was supposed to get together with several other friends while he was in Chicago, and they all bailed on him. So Thursday night, we're on the phone, and he's kind of bummed because people bailed on him, and he's alone in the hotel.
Yeah.
And I have been in migraine hell all day, okay, and I am like not happy, not feeling good. Feeling vulnerable.
I mean, really bad. Like, you
Bad.
got bad. Yeah.
Really bad.
Nothing was helping.
Nothing.
No medication, nothing.
I had popped Percocets and nothing.
Did you try, like, coffee or anything like that?
She has a whole regimen of things.
I have
you
a
go
whole
through a whole
regimen of
process.
things, yes. So I'm, like, really in pain. So then Friday, I wake up and I still have it.
Okay.
And it just so happens like everyone I know is not around. There's like no one around, and I'm by myself, and now it's 103 degrees outside and my AC is reading 80 degrees, and I'm flipping out because I don't know if it's broken again.
Yeah.
And I have such a fucking migraine
Yeah.
that I can't see straight. So I'm on the phone
I know
with him.
exactly what you mean, though. Like, people think like, oh, it's a headache and what's the big deal? No, it's
is
so bad.
beyond a headache.
Yeah.
I mean, I was nauseous, I was shaking, and I couldn't even really close my eyes because every time I closed my eyes, the room started spinning. So I'm hysterical and I'm sobbing on the phone to him.
No.
I'm sobbing.
And what are you saying, Lon? What are you doing?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He came home.
That's amazing.
He's
He's a good husband.
I know. He came home. He texted me and he said, I'm coming. He says, I got a flight. And I said, what? I got a flight. I said, what do you mean? He goes, I'm coming home. And he came home Friday night.
When did you start feeling better?
I actually started feeling better
Before
Friday night.
Friday night. Oh. Someone was missing someone.
Yeah, I guess I was missing
So
someone.
I'll get on the bike this week and I'll make up the
When are you gonna do
Iowa
it?
miles. Well, there are a bunch of people pedaling in Iowa without me,
Mhm.
so that's happening. I arranged to get my bike back. It should be back later this week. So
Oh, you left the bike there?
Yeah.
Where'd you leave it?
I had it shipped ahead to Cedar Rapids.
Okay.
I just had it.
And it's being
We
shipped-
had even gone, what night was it? We went into some lovely guy lent him a case to
Shipping
ship the,
case.
the shipping case. We went to pick it up in Brooklyn.
I got to get that back to him too.
Yeah.
So that was my non-cycling weekend.
Boy, you've had a great month. July's been a great month for you.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm hoping August is going to be okay.
But we did have a very nice thing happen on Sunday.
Yeah, I had said on Facebook. I think I came back for a reason.
Yeah.
We were home Saturday because I was still not feeling great, and it was still disgusting and
Yeah.
hot and gross. And I didn't want to go outside. So, we got a phone call from two friends of ours.
Who you've met, actually.
Who you've met.
Okay.
A lovely lesbian couple.
Oh, yes.
And
I do remember them.
And they said, "What are you doing tomorrow?"
Oh, okay.
So we went and we were witnesses to their wedding.
Oh, that's very nice.
In Borough
Yeah, it
Hall
was
in
really
Brooklyn.
sweet.
I
Yes,
want to
sir.
start marrying gay couples.
Oh, because you're a minister.
You're a
I am a
Minister.
minister.
You know
You're a
what?
minister.
That's what I'm gonna
You
do.
really should put that out there. I'll put it on mine, too.
Yeah.
'Cause
I'll marry
I'll
them.
mention that the minister from my...
It
My
was
wedding
so
is-
sweet. Everybody was like, there were lots of people standing outside because they had to go to the municipal building first
To register
get
for paperwork, and then over to Borough
Yeah.
Hall.
Well,
to-
with my they'll say, "Why is this gay minister marrying two straight men?" that'll be the question people ask.
Well, the best was, I went out with one of these girls in college. Okay?
That's really funny.
So
It was his freshman girlfriend.
she was my freshman college girlfriend.
That's really funny.
She's been married in between, so she always said it's
Wasn't
not
all
your,
his fault.
No, it wasn't all your fault.
That's really good. Did you ever have like a feeling you know what's interesting? Like you see, not to judge a book by its cover, but there you see some people and you say, okay, you know what,
no,
that's a gay
you know who
man.
she looked like when I went
That's-
out with her in college? She looked like Lawrence San Giacomo
Okay.
from Sex Lies and Videotape. Yeah. She was
She was very cute.
She was very
But
cute.
like, there's
and if she was a lesbian, I didn't care.
you
I didn't care.
Even if you knew, you didn't care.
Yeah.
But there's some people when you look at me, you say, okay, that's a gay man. She's a
Yes,
lesbian.
some people it's kind of obvious.
Listen, I know two actors that swear they're straight.
Did you ever get a vibe? Like maybe she might be a lesbian?
No, not in the time that I was going out with her, though. Quickly after that, she was indulging in both.
Okay.
Just
but a lot
not with
of people
me.
experiment though in
That's-
college.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
So that's
yes,
what I
a
thought
lot
it
of-
was. That's what I thought it was.
Like, oh, we're going to spring break and we made out.
yeah.
Yeah, but in the 70s,
Well,
it
that
was
wasn't- yeah,
really
well,
progressive.
Yes, when we were
Yeah.
when we were in college, that was really
Now
not,
it's hip.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
it's hip for girls
That
to do
didn't
that.
happen?
No,
Like girls didn't go to spring
No.
break and make out.
Absolutely
No.
not. Absolutely
No.
not.
What would
No.
have happened? Like you just two girls, two attractive women just
They
started
wouldn't have
making-
just said lesbian. They wouldn't have said they're
I don't-
witches and
girl
let's burn them.
Yeah,
play.
I
They
don't
just would have
know.
just said dykes, and they would have gone with that.
I don't know. Yeah, I honestly, I don't think any.
But when did that
would
change?
People would be so afraid of being labeled
Yeah.
a dyke
Yeah.
that they
Okay,
would never
were-
do that.
Okay, were girls kissing in high school when you were in high school?
Yeah.
Okay, so it goes back then.
Well, let me think. Even in middle school, like 9th grade, I remember girls would,
Yeah.
they'd kiss. Like 8th grade. Yeah, like even like 7th grade, like
okay,
the
I
hot
don't even
girls
want to
would,
know
like,
about
kiss.
this.
Really?
yeah. Like I remember like
So
hearing
mid
it.
'90s. So I thought the '80s changed it.
Yeah.
I guess because it's.
Oh, you know why? You know why it changed?
AIDS.
AIDS.
Yeah.
That's why it changed.
What do you mean
Yeah,
you
It's
changed?
true.
Lap dancing became popular because it's sexless prostitution.
Okay.
Yeah.
Girls kissing girls. It's
and
AIDS-less
guys
sex.
watching,
Okay.
it's like safe.
Yeah,
it's safe
yeah.
sex.
Oh, that's fast. So
Yeah.
let me ask you: the lap dance people wouldn't get lap dances in strip clubs
No.
before the '80s.
No.
No,
Really? So what would you
no.
do? Go to a strip club and just watch them dance?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and throw money. That's
Really?
it.
Yeah,
Huh.
you'd get a table dance maybe.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
They'd come and dance like on your
On your
table.
table.
So
That
and,
was
and then the
But-
lap dance happened, and then the girls would start making out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like even in porn, though, let's talk about porn.
Let's talk about
Let's talk
porn.
about porn.
Let's talk about porn.
We're gonna shift directions and discuss porn.
Do you know? I think I have a. I have an.
Before
I
we
have an
do,
old
Lon.
friend listening to this for the first time tonight. I'm so proud. She must be so proud.
Before
of
we
me.
go into our in-depth
Before-
conversation
before we
about
discuss
pornography,
yes.
let's talk about our great sponsor, Hover.com. Domain names made simple. Now, if you want to buy a domain about two women making out,
Right.
Two
Or two
women
men,
making out.
whatever you want.
can.
.com.
which you can,
Yes.
you can buy it at Hover.com. And this is the great thing about Hover: they don't do upsell. They don't bombard
And they
you
don't
with
judge.
emails. They don't judge.
They don't judge.
Oh, they definitely do not
They do
judge
not
because
judge.
some of the domains that I've bought, and let's just go through this because I buy everything, and I definitely have some questionable domains. Let's see. Let me go to Hover.com.
I want giantmaneatingdessert.com. that's the one I want.
That's a great one. Let me go here actually, for if I can log in. Let me log in. Come on, Hover. I forgot my password. No, that's not good. This is not going to work the way I wanted it to work. Let's just try one more time.
Ooh, someone put usedporn.com.
Oh.
Like, oh.
Come on, this might work now. Come on, get in. Get in!
The salivation army.
There we go. So let's go through some of these domains that I own. The Bad Case of the Sads. CocoLovesButtPlugs.com.
Oh, dear.
Coco Needs an iPhone. Let's see. I mean, the Coco Needs an iPhone is a decent one. I'm just going down the list because I have over 150 domains with them. Shit Joe Says.
Is that me?
No, another Joe. LyricalAbortion.com.
Lyrical abortion? Yeah. Is that where they like
get the song?
They sing to you
yeah.
while you're having the procedure?
Or when they destroy a song, like it's such a bad song, it's a lyrical abortion.
Ah. I enjoy those.
Yeah. Gays from Queens.
Two sitting here.
Yeah. I also own Guys from Brooklyn and Guys from New York. That's an interesting website that nobody has. I'm just saying GFQ, okay.
We have I'mJustSaying.com?
I don't because somebody owns it, and I've been trying to buy it from them for about a year now, and they won't sell. How dare they? Yeah, I've been trying to buy I'm Just Saying, and GFQ.com. I can't buy it. Let's see. ThingsBlackPeopleSay.com. The Cops. I don't know why. I'm the proud owner of Stickam Andy. Andy, if you're listening, I own your domain. Which he knows already. The Sheen Report.
Interesting.
Yeah. Gaggle of Gays.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I own the gaggleofgays.com. And shitblackpeoplesay.com. Yeah.
Excellent.
Don't know why I own that domain. I do not remember buying that domain.
Excellent.
But these are the domains I own, so they don't judge you, Joe.
They
really
judge.
don't.
Nor do they shoot elephants.
No, they don't shoot elephants
Which
either.
Is lovely.
If you go to gfq.harvard.com, you get 10% off your entire purchase. Use promo code GFQ at checkout. Goes to me. They know that you're watching the show and you're listening to the show and you like the show and you're buying it because of the show. And if you don't, Lon will eat a puppy and a kitten. He'll stomp on a kitten and eat a puppy if you don't buy a domain. Yes, he will.
No.
Yes, he will.
Nuns and ducklings.
Yeah.
Nuns and ducklings.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Hover.com.
So back to pornography.
Back to porn. When did girl-on-girl porn begin? Because if it was happening in porn, it had to have, been enticing the mainstream.
Gee, I don't know.
Gee, we need to ask the answer, man.
Honestly, I'm not being a huge...
you know what? It was starting in the...
observer
you know
of
what?
porn?
It was starting in the... I know that of the porn that I did see in college, there was some... And that was edgy when it was girl.
Are you talking about what are you talking like in the mid 80s, late 70s,
very late 70s,
to mid 80s? Well, yeah. What's her name? The one that was like 14. Tracy Lords. When was she? No, but she was a little bit later. She was a little bit later than me.
That was lady. Why did she do girl on girl stuff? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of the few pieces of pornography
throughout
that I
the
saw.
90s, throughout my childhood, I remember seeing girls making out on TV.
Well, yeah, there was a there was a kiss on Roseanne. Mariel Hemingway kissed Roseanne.
But that was like a real lesbian kiss.
Yes.
Like I'm not I'm talking about like even on Married with Children, you would see that every now and then like a girl would kiss a girl.
Really?
That would happen. Yeah. Yeah.
I never watched the show, so
I'm trying to think like maybe mid 90s. And then once
I would think that's probably about when it really started to be pervasive. Yeah. Because, we got married in 86 and that's really when the whole AIDS thing started coming out.
That's why I'm not single anymore. The AIDS.
That's true. You're such a germaphobe. Yeah. And then at first it was just a gay disease,
Yeah, it was called GRID.
Yeah.
Gay immune deficiency.
Gay-related
immune deficiency.
Yeah. And then, of course, when they started to realize that heterosexual people could get it too, that's when you had the proliferation of gentlemen's clubs opening up.
Yeah, and they started to be called gentlemen's clubs
because previous to that, a strip club was sleazy.
Yeah.
It was just sleazy.
There weren't any high-end strip
No,
clubs.
there were no high-end strip clubs.
The
Strip
closest
clubs
that you ever
were
came to
street-
high-end anything was like the Playboy Club,
Yeah.
where they weren't naked.
Which they weren't naked.
No,
Yeah.
no, a strip club was sleazy. It was downright sleazy. And then you started to have, because of the whole AIDS thing, you started to have these gentlemen's clubs crop up.
That's interesting.
And then I guess they wanted to, be more provocative.
That's
and so
fascinating, though. I mean-
it was a way to quote unquote have sex without any danger. And I think also a lot of girls started to have sex with start experimenting with each other because the feeling was that you couldn't get AIDS, or you could rarely get AIDS from a woman.
I find that fascinating, though. Like,
And then it was put in the magazines, and then it obviously turned on men. So what women started doing was, I'm
Right.
going to turn on my boyfriend by
making out with my best friend.
Yeah.
I mean, I think previous to that, I do remember that there were some not Playboy at the time, but like in Penthouse, you would have pictorials of two girls, beautiful girls together.
Yeah.
Now they wouldn't really be doing anything.
Yeah, they were just together. They still
but
do
they'd
that,
be
yeah.
like together,
Yeah.
and they'd be like with their arms around each other, or sort of in a somewhat provocative pose, but not actually doing anything. And apparently men find it a big turn on, and so I think it grew out of
We
there.
grew out there.
Yeah.
That's interesting, though, because I'm trying to remember, like, I know in high school, definitely it was going on.
Yeah.
But you're talking, late 90s,
Yeah.
early 2000s.
Yeah. No, when I was in college, it was so the fear of being labeled a
Yeah.
lesbian, I think, was so deep that nobody would even think of doing.
But like there was a
something
point
like
where like it was cool to be a little like lesbian-y. Like there was
Yes.
like a clique almost.
to be a little bi, or
But I
to
think
be a
that came
little-
solidly in the 90s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, what do they call it?
Barsexual.
Girls who make out in bars to turn guys on, to get
Is
guys
it-
hot. And
They're
they're not really.
they're
They're not
barsexual.
really
I always
bisexual.
found that fascinating. Like girls can make out
Yes.
and it's hot. But
Yes.
but women will not find two men making out attractive.
See that.
That's the interesting thing.
I think it's just a matter of
Time.
because when honestly, when I saw Brokeback Mountain and those two guys there were sex scenes with the two guys. They were both young, beautiful young men, and I found it very erotic, frankly, and so did the friend I was with. So
it's interesting how that works.
so I think that's kind of changing too.
Yeah.
But I think that-
we're such a liberal world now where
I think there's still more of a stigma about men being gay, because heterosexual men are so afraid of being labeled gay. There's like such homophobia. It was always a little easier, I think, for lesbians to be accepted. Like no one wanted. You didn't talk about it, but those were the two spinsters who lived together, and everyone kind of knew what was going on, but they just didn't talk about it. But if there were two guys together, that would be like those men would be completely ostracized.
It's interesting how we socially get start accepting certain things. Even let's talk about like heterosexual erotic stuff on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Everything has sex in it now. Everything has sex in
Everything.
it. But we still can't curse on TV.
Which is so ridiculous.
Which is, there could be a sex scene on
yes.
on network television.
Yes.
You won't see anything, but pretty much you know they're having sex.
Right.
But you cannot say, shit.
No.
It's really
tits.
interesting. Yeah, but that's fascinating to me.
It's ridiculous.
How certain things can't be said because that's deemed offensive.
I know. I don't understand it either. It doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't make any sense to me. But it's interesting, like even the way we're socialized, like little girls when they're growing up, little girls have pajama parties.
Yeah.
And
Boys have sleepovers in tents.
Yeah.
Right. Little girl, right.
Camping.
But if little boys, I don't know, if you have your friend over, they don't sleep in the same bed together, do they?
Who, boys?
Yeah. No, they wouldn't.
No.
Sleeping bags. One kid in his own
Yeah,
bed.
one on the floor. You set up a thing on the floor.
See, little girls, if you have a double bed, your friend sleeps in the bed with you.
Yeah, see, it's interesting how that works.
I mean, when I was little, I had a single bed in my room when I was really little. But we had a guest room that had a double bed in it. So if I had a friend over for a sleepover, we slept together in the guest room so we could talk all night. Whisper all night. And that wasn't odd at all. I mean, and little girls, you'll see, girls, even as they get older, they'll comb each other's hair. They'll fix each other's hair.
I have no hair to comb. You wouldn't let me touch your hair.
No. So there'd be no
that
hair.
Would never work.
Nothing with hair.
And it has nothing to do with being gay or not.
This is true.
Yeah. I wouldn't let him touch my hair at all. Nobody can. Jess can't even touch my hair.
Jess can't touch your hair?
No, it's off limits.
He's got black women's hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't touch my hair.
Yeah.
Jess can't touch your hair.
No.
That should make having sex very interesting.
No, it's its own thing. I put a hairnet on.
I was just going to say, do you wear a hairnet?
I protect it. Yeah.
It's extremely erotic.
I've built a contraption that goes over my head.
Hairnet and do you have a deep fryer in the bedroom?
Yeah.
Because that would be hot.
Yeah.
You know what? Years ago, I don't know. I'm sure you don't remember this. I don't even know if you're aware of it, Andrew, but there was a time when ladies would go to the beauty parlor once a week and they would get their hair done.
Sure.
And that set had, that hairdo had to last for the week.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah, but I know older women do that.
Right.
Still.
So that's the way it was. And my mother would go get her hair done, and she had this thing. It was black. It was made out of black Velcro kind of. And it wrapped around your head and the Velcro, attached. And it looked like one of those headpieces that the Egyptian pharaohs wore, like those things that kind of wrapped around their head and they were high like this, and she would sleep in it to keep her.
Why? But why couldn't she do her hair?
It wasn't the same as beauty parlor hair. I mean, in those days, nowadays hair,
because it was like a dome, right? It was like brick.
Yes, nowadays hair is supposed to move helmet. And stuff. In those days,
it shifted at best. It used to do this.
Yes,
the whole hairdo would move to one side.
Yeah, it would be set, and first of all, they would wash it and set it, and then tease it and spray it, and it was had to stay that. It was like a hair helmet, had to stay that way for a week.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. And so she had this thing that it looked like one of those headpieces that the pharaohs used to wear.
That's phenomenal.
I know.
And you'd have to go to bed with that. That's the thing that always gets me.
Well, you see in old movies, ladies walking, going to sleep
like
in
they wrap their
hair
heads.
Curlers,
Yeah.
Or I remember, this is something you never ever see anymore. It was not unusual, especially on a weekend, like on a Saturday afternoon, to see teenagers walking around with curlers in their hair.
Why?
Because they would set their hair to look nice for Saturday night.
Oh, also a great way to turn a guy down.
I have to wash my hair.
I have to wash my hair.
But see, that's the thing that it would take you 10 minutes to wash your hair.
Oh no, you'd have to wash it and set it, and
there were no blow dryers, so you had to wash your hair, and then you had to set it in rollers, and then you had to dry it under. You ever see those big dryers?
What do you mean there were no blow dryers? When did blow dryers get invented?
In the 70s.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Late 70s.
Changed everything.
It did.
Everything from the late 70s on.
Totally changed everything.
There were no, if you go
there were no blow. Actually, it was a little bit earlier. The very first one.
The hot comb was 74.
Yes, the hot comb was 74.
The hot comb. Want to look that one up, Andrew?
No, actually, it was before. The Max. The Max. It was called the Max.
72.
Yes, because I remember taking it with me to Italy. And that was, I think, maybe 73.
Okay, so it's a hair comb that's hot.
Yeah.
Don't black people use the hair comb? Yeah, the black people use the hair comb.
It's not.
It's
exactly
a comb. It's a comb. Yeah, black people use it to straighten the hair.
I think it's an adaptation of that. I don't think it's the exact
this
same
was
thing.
like a little dryer.
What was it called?
Because it was for
The
white
Max.
hair.
The Max.
And it was a little dryer that had like a hair, like a brush
wand
attached to it, and you would
comb your hair, brush your hair,
and
the hot air would go through it.
Right, and the hot air would go through it, and that was the first one.
Did you have one?
Of course, I did.
How much was it?
Oh my God!
A nickel.
Yeah, pretty much
a nickel in 1912.
5 cents.
I gotta think it was 1995.
Yeah,
it was something like that.
Or
yeah.
no, 12.95.
So you would
literally
you would literally do your hair for about an entire day.
It took the night.
It took the night.
You'd say, I'm doing my hair tonight. Girls would sometimes even go over to each other's house
and do their
watch
hair.
each other's hair. That was your girl on girl.
Yeah.
You would wash each other's hair, set each other's hair.
You would set your girlfriend's
what
hair.
is this, grease?
And sit under the dryers and yell at each other. What are you doing tomorrow? What?
Right, or you? Well, that's actually
because they had the big things with the plastic bonnets.
Yes.
With the pipe that would come out of it.
What is wrong with people? Why would and why do people ever say like, "Oh, I wish it was 1960 again"? Why would you want to live in that miserable world?
Did you
I
ever
don't
see
know.
those?
Yeah.
The bouffants with with the hose attached to it. Yeah, you'd sit under that. And
that was the dryer. It used to come in a little case, and you'd have the plastic
Little
bonnet
round
with
case.
a hose attached to
See,
it.
I always wonder what life would be like then for me. It would be miserable. Like I always think, like, what if I didn't have a cell phone? What if I didn't have the
whole
internet?
thing with not knowing, is you don't know what you're missing.
You don't know what you're missing.
So you can't miss what you don't know.
No. But like I know. Let's say I have.
If
a
you
time
went
machine.
back in time, that would suck.
Yeah, let's say I have a time machine, which I do.
Mm-hmm.
I have the patent for it. It's in my garage.
I see.
Timemachine.com.
What if I go back in time
Mm-hmm.
for like a month and I have to live in 1962? Mm-hmm. Not even like the hippie stuff hasn't happened yet.
No.
So it's miserable.
You're Mad
It's like
Men.
Buddy Holly.
You're in Mad Men.
I'm in Mad Men.
Mad Men, yes.
But I'm not as successful.
But you can drink and not care about it.
Yeah, like I could drink. I could drink
eat red meat.
Yeah, I could drink while I'm working.
You
at
can
noon.
drink and smoke and eat steak
While I'm working.
as much as you want. Yes.
Okay, so let's say I go.
And
there
you
were good
can
things.
bang the secretary, and if she gets pregnant, you can go, not mine.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
and
there's no
nobody could prove
DNA
it.
testing yet.
Okay, so
It was a beautiful
let's say-
world.
Let's say right now, I'm 27. Mm-hmm. I'm taken into 1962. Mm-hmm. Just picked up and dropped off the way I look right now.
You would look
I would
very
be called a
odd.
witch. They would stone me and burn me, right?
Yeah.
Like how weird would I look? Like in
Very.
Bayside, like right here.
You'd be
in
a
1962.
hoodlum. You would be a hoodlum.
You'd be a hoodlum. You'd be a
You'd be a
juvie.
hoodlum, a juvenile delinquent.
What would they say? Like what would they? What it's my hair?
Yes.
My
It's your
hair,
hair.
the t-shirt, the jeans.
Yes.
Flip flops.
Yes. That's all.
Yeah, like some
Very not-
bohemian. That's what you were,
Yeah,
a bohemian.
From where? Where did I come from?
A beatnik.
Yeah, beatnik.
Beatnik.
Where did I come from though? Like where would they think I'm from?
I don't know. From Mars, they would just think
Yeah.
that you were very strange.
Yeah.
Yes, you'd be very, very strange.
So I would be very unsuccessful at finding a job in my current state.
No one would hire you.
No one.
No. Are you kidding? People wore a jacket and tie to go out to dinner.
I would have to go buy a suit.
You would have to go buy.
But
a
I don't
suit.
have money. All my money says 2006.
You would have to go buy a suit.
I wonder, like, would they even look like I pay for something with like a new 50? Like, what would they think? Like, I pull out like a new $50 bill. Like, they would think I'm crazy. Like, they would think it's made up, right?
Probably.
Like, it says 2011 on my money.
They would probably think it was counterfeit.
Can I pay with this? And I pull up a credit card.
They didn't exist.
But I have my cell phone on me. Like, that would be proof.
You couldn't call anybody.
Doesn't matter. It would be proof that, like, where the hell is this person from? I'm a time traveler.
Well, they would think you were like strange, and they would arrest you and do tests on you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Probably.
It would be end for me.
Probably. Yeah. Well, also, the whole wearing curlers all day kind of thing, like all Saturday, before those bouffant things came out, there were none. That bouffant thing that used to dryer,
Yeah.
that was a big innovation so that you could dry your hair more quickly in your house. Otherwise, you had to go to the hair salon and sit under the big thing. So that's why you would wash your hair in the morning and set your hair, and then you would walk around with it like that all day so that it would dry by nighttime so you could take it out and style it.
People are giving me stock advice, by the way, for 1962. Somebody said they would call you Al Qaeda, but sorry, sir, Al Qaeda did not exist. So that theory is out the window.
Right. Al Qaeda.
Froggy in our tram says first thing you should do is buy Xerox. Anthony says then buy Microsoft and Apple and Google. I will be dead by that point if I survive for the next 1962. So for 40 years, I'm gonna be 60 something years old.
Yes.
By the time I'm now in my current state.
Yes.
I'd be miserable. I would hate it. I would hate 1962.
You wouldn't hate it if you didn't know any different.
But I know different.
Yeah, he's talking about time traveling. He's not talking about being born into that time.
Yeah, well,
I have time travel. Okay, so
that's
now
whatever happens 100 years in the future, someone traveling back to now would feel just as miserable.
Now let's say I go back to 1952.
Okay.
What will life be like for me there?
Oh well, you'd be another race.
Yeah.
Yeah. You wouldn't even be allowed in places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? I'm white.
Yeah, but
you're dark.
I'm European.
You're obviously foreign.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not American.
You're not.
What can I do to get Americanized?
Well,
comb my hair.
You'd have to cut your hair.
Yeah. Shave the beard.
Shave the beard.
Shave the beard.
Mm-hmm.
Wear a suit.
Yeah.
You know, and it would have to be a dark suit with a white shirt and a dark tie.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
That's all that was.
I'm fine with that.
You know,
as long as they're European cut legs and they're a little white on the bottoms.
No,
I'm fine with that.
No, that did not.
Boot
exist.
cuts?
No, it's an American.
Are you trying to kill me?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you would have to wear. There are no sneakers.
Yeah.
No sneakers.
Yeah.
You'd have to wear shoes all the time.
Somebody said I have to blow guys in order to survive in 1952. It's brilliant.
And then you would get arrested for being a homosexual because it was against the law.
Okay. Well, I would fit in 72, wouldn't I?
Oh yeah.
I'd do fine in 72.
Yeah.
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 Why? I'm a little.
You'd have to tweak the look a little bit.
I think anything after 65, I would be able to do well.
No.
Yeah, San Francisco, 66, 67.
But you still don't look. No.
No, I think I would fit in.
No.
A lot of weird shit was going on. Those people didn't look that normal.
But they didn't look like you. You'd have to grow your hair more and let it be more unkempt.
Well, I would be considered, a revolutionary, and then I could have my own cult. And then we could all die. It would be excellent. San Francisco. And I'll claim that the Beatles stole my songs.
I suppose.
It's interesting how 10 years would make such a difference.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's nothing now. Like, you go back from... Let's go to 2001 to 2011, right? Yeah.
It doesn't feel...
Life has changed, but
not
it doesn't
so
feel...
drastically.
It doesn't feel as drastic to you, but...
How about to you? Do you feel that there's a big difference in the last 10 years?
Not as big. I think every decade it becomes less, but it's more than you think. That's where I was going to say.
What's your year? Like, I have 1 year. 2001 was the best year of my life. That was my summer, my teenage summer, 2001.
Do I have a best year?
Yeah, like, does that exist for people? Like, I'm sure everybody has that, right? Like, that one summer you remember. And when all my friends come around, we talk about 2001, how great it was. Like, 10 years have gone by.
Did you have a great summer?
You never had a great summer?
One of my best summers was
No.
78, I think.
78?
78. That's when I turned 20. That was really good.
I
could drink at 18. So
I had periods
though I didn't.
of
That's
great,
funny because I do too, and they tell me it's not normal.
Yes, not normal for you. I had moments and experiences of great things that I remember, but not the whole year.
The whole year.
Summer.
No, 2001 for me was like phenomenal. And then 9/11 happened and it screwed me up so bad I became OCD and I don't leave the house. 9/11 stopped fun for me. It's weird. Like it really, like I wish like I knew that then because I could have gone to therapy and possibly fixed myself.
You still can.
I still can, but I like now it's my personality. Like it's become part of me.
Now it's my trademark.
Now, like like comedians like, oh no, I still have to be a drug addict and alcoholic because then it'll like screw up my
Tennessee
comedy.
Williams, the playwright,
Yeah.
went into therapy and he started getting better.
Yes,
and he stopped.
Yep.
Because he couldn't
said-
write
Yeah.
anymore.
He couldn't write anymore.
Yeah, no, but it's a sick thing. It's a sick thing. So, 2001 for me was the big year, but from 2001 to now, like life has gotten harder because I'm getting older and like a job. But like I'm talking about like the way I function, the way I do things, really have not changed because the internet was around in 2001.
Right.
I was still shopping online. I was still active online.
Yeah.
Like, really, like life hasn't. It's like from 91 to 2001, there were big differences
Yes.
in the way you do stuff.
Yes.
2001 to 2011, not so much.
Yeah, not so much.
But like you go back
But
any
10
other
years
time,
ago,
right?
so like someone said 10 years ago, I was doing dial-up and using AOL all the time.
65 to 75.
Big difference. The
Oh
world
my God,
changed.
the world changed.
The world turned upside down. 75 to 85, again, the world
Well,
changed.
that's right.
AIDS.
See, I lived through that.
Yeah.
85 to 95.
75 to 85 is my sweet spot, my years. Because realize that was my junior year of high school till, that was like, in essence, 16 to 26 for me. That was formative.
But again, it's interesting. It seems like it's the kind of life has stopped in a way, and I'm probably describing it wrong, but let's go back. It's 42 to 52, a lot changed. 52 to 62, a lot changed. 62 to 72, a lot changed. 72 to 82, a lot changed. 82 to 92, a lot changed.
82 to 92 was you could do with everything.
Yeah.
52 to 62, you had all the beginnings of all the movements.
Yeah.
Women, and not that there
Civil
wasn't a women's
rights
civil
movement,
rights.
yeah.
But
You know-
they were just beginning,
Right.
and it was very, very,
Yeah.
very much
Right.
under the surface.
Yeah.
Right. 62 to 72.
But here's the
was
thing
when
though,
they
50
blossomed.
from 52 to 62, the way the what is it, the nuclear family, that started to shift a little bit.
A little bit.
Because women went to work after the war, and that started changing. Like from 42 to 52, women went to work, and that changed the dynamic because
Yeah, but
when
you
men
see
came back, the
what
job wasn't there.
That's right. And that was one of the seeds were planted for what happened
Yeah.
later. But life did not change a whole lot until the 60s.
Yeah.
It really started to change in the 60s.
It was all bubbling. You wouldn't have had hippies if you hadn't had beatniks.
Yeah.
Right. It was
basically.
all but it was all very much under the surface. It was all very outside the norm.
Yeah.
In the 60s, you know, you had in the late 60s, you had average suburban families with sons who were protesting the
Yeah.
war and had hair down to here
Yeah.
and weren't talking to their parents.
Yeah.
That was really unheard of before.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of rebellion and stuff. The world changed enormously in ways that it never went back. Like, we're still feeling repercussions from what happened in the 60s and 70s.
But okay, so let's go from 52 to 62. You know, life started changing. 62 to 72. I mean,
60,
everything
72,
changed.
72, it all blossomed.
Yeah.
It came full like
Right.
Okay, let's go to 82. A lot changed then.
72 to 82 is
82 to 92 was, you know, the corporate
corporate and tech and the
Yes.
first tech boom
And the
because
first tech boom.
That was the
because
first tech boom.
82 to 92 everyone's house finally had the
TV.
the VCR,
VCR,
the answering machine, the microwave. Those things weren't in
Cordless
everyone's house.
phone.
I remember getting an answer machine in, I think it was 81. And at the time, there was still lots of people who did not have one.
Yeah.
And almost exclusively, anyone who had one was young. But within like 5 or 6 years, my parents and their friends had one, you know?
Yeah, it was all youth driven.
Yeah. I remember getting the first our first VCR probably around 1980 also. And again, at the time,
I got my own personal one in
a
1983.
lot of people didn't have one.
Yeah. It was a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a very big deal. I was working at CBS in I started working there in 77, and they had a VCR in my boss's office, and it was a novelty.
Yeah.
You know, it was like a novelty to have one. And
It's
they
like,
were
wow.
really expensive. They were like $1,200 or something.
Yeah, sure.
And then a few years later, we got one, and then they started to become the norm.
I mean, but even you go in the 90s, right? From the 90s to the 2000s, a lot life changed. Cell phones and the internet. But from like the early 2000s to now, yeah, we've had advances in technology, but nothing that has changed the way we live.
Not too much. I mean, we went from cell phones to Blackberries, so you could sort of, now you can check.
But you can still make a phone call. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you have your iPhone now. Okay,
Right.
fine. But you could send a text message. You could do that in 2001. You know,
Yeah.
there were still PDAs and things like that. We've advanced the stuff that we do, but there's been no, wow, you know, this is going to change the way we function. Like a cell phone and you know, even like TVs, plasma TVs, like in the mid 2000s.
They're just lighter.
Yeah, the TVs are just lighter now, and they look better.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how it's kind of.
Yeah. Well,
also advancing technology is something that we're now all used to.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone, like at this age, we don't go, what's this with the HD TV? We were perfectly fine with our you know, just our DVR and our you know what I mean? Everything sort of happens and people accept
it because it happens so rapidly.
And ongoing change.
Yeah.
it's like every year there's a new thing.
Yeah. I mean, could you imagine? There's certain things that I can't imagine my life without. Like I could not have a cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
I could function without a cell phone because I don't answer anyway.
This is true.
It is true. I can't function without my internet.
It's hard to do business
Yeah.
now. It's impossible to do business without one.
I could function without a TV. I could live without a TV. I don't need TV.
I would go stir crazy.
I haven't watched TV in I'll tell you, the only time I watch TV is when I'm in bed and I'm trying to fall asleep. I watch Nancy Grace or Morgan Freeman's Through the Wormhole, which is a sci-fi channel, a science channel show. Those are the only two things that I actually watch.
Do you watch TV online?
Yeah, I watch the news. Like I watch some web stuff. You know,
but basically the computers replace TV.
The computers replace TV for me. It's an all-in-one thing. So I could even communicate with people without. Even a car, I don't really need a car anymore.
Because you're a hermit.
Because I don't go anywhere. If I go anywhere, I go down the block.
Well, where we live, you can function without a car.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah, we're it's like a village.
Yeah, you can function, and I mean, you can get into Manhattan. You can hop a bus. I mean, you can function without a car.
By the way, I go out every day. I go to the city almost every. Well, today I didn't go, but tomorrow I'm going.
And you love it so much.
I hate it.
I know.
Oh, God, I hate it.
We were there today, and then we got caught in the most
miserable,
horrible traffic coming home. It was horrible.
It's
it was
miserable.
Really horrible. It's not miserable.
You know, I have a question. How bad was traffic in the 70s and 60s in the city?
It was always bad.
It was always bad.
Yeah,
That's
just
never,
they fix it.
That's
and
never changed.
The moment they built the LIE, they should have doubled its size.
Right.
The moment they did it.
The LIE, you know the work they're doing now on the LIE to expand it? That needed to be done
in the 70s.
Yeah. Well,
you
they
know?
did.
You know what they
need?
need? They need to stack it. They need another one on top of it. That's what they need.
I mean, and they've needed that since the 70s.
They said, it's interesting. The LIE was, one of the most groundbreaking things they did in New York, but it's also one of the biggest disasters. And
well, the thing that they did also is that they treated Long Island like a stepchild of the city, because everything on Long Island only goes east to west or west to east.
Yeah.
There's nothing that you can't get from the north shore of Long Island to the south shore using public transport.
Yeah, you got to bounce around
you got to use like 6 different buses. There's no train line that goes north to south.
Yeah, like how would I go from like
Port Washington to Seaford?
Yeah,
you'd actually have to go back into the city to a main hub, like maybe Jamaica, and catch a train on a different line and go back out again. There's no way to.
But even it's interesting because but that it's kind of they like that though, because they're kept apart from everything. Glen Cove wanted to put a direct line LIRR from the city to Glen Cove. You can't do that. You have to go from Glen Cove to Jamaica to the city.
Really?
Yeah. They said no. The town voted no because they said it's going to bring city people in.
That's true, though.
And they said, well, no, we want that. We want to revitalize the area because they have a beautiful waterfront. They don't want to revitalize it because they're afraid it's going to bring outsiders. And a lot of places in Long Island are like that. They go, no. We don't want to bring those outside New Yorkers.
Well, because you see what happens when you start bringing people in. Look at Staten Island used to be beautiful.
It
I
was
know
a
that's
forest.
shocking.
It was forest land. Yeah.
But it used to be beautiful. It was country. It was beautiful.
That's why they sent tuberculosis patients to the colonies, to the farm colonies.
Well, okay. After that,
After that or before that?
No,
that went on for years.
After that, before the bridge was built, it was beautiful. It was country.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous. And then the bridge was built.
Yeah, there was not a spray tan there.
Yeah, really. And they overbuilt all those ugly condo complexes. And I mean,
we can build more, so let's build more.
They totally destroyed it. Totally.
Do you remember ever going to Staten Island when you were younger?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, because she has family.
What was it
relatives
like
there.
though? It was like the country, right?
It
You
was
went
the country.
Did you go pre-bridge?
Yes, I remember going to visit.
Did you go by? How'd you go? Did you go by
cousin Maddie and Jimmy?
He was like wearing overalls and a pitchfork.
Cousin Maddie and Jimmy. They owned. Cousin Jimmy owned a big fruit and vegetable and meat market.
Yeah.
They catered the wedding scene in the
Godfather.
In the Godfather.
Really?
Yes. He had
awesome.
pictures taken with all of the stars and everything.
That's amazing.
But did you take the ferry to get over, or did you go by way of Jersey?
When I was really little, we took the ferry.
So you went into Manhattan, took the ferry to Staten Island?
Yeah, we took the ferry.
That's cool.
They had built the fruit and the market was down by where the ferry came in, which was the only area really of Staten Island that had been developed.
Yeah.
They, made money, and they had a house built on Toad Hill, which is a pricey, sort of private area. And at the time, when their house was built,
when was the bridge built?
63, 64?
Something like that, like 63, 64.
Okay.
When they had their
So
house,
they were there like in the 50s. They
Yes.
got there. Okay.
and they built
Used to
their
be, there was the Goth Hills Bridge was there a while. Was the outer bridge?
I don't remember.
And
remember.
and you know what bridge? The bridge from Bayonne into Staten Island.
I'm
was
looking
there.
at pictures of Staten Island from the 50s, and oh my God, it's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
they
New
built
York,
a house.
but all of New York. I mean, this place was like
This was
farmland.
country.
Yeah, this was a country.
This
Have you ever
was
seen
country.
the Bayside history book? You should try and buy it.
Where is it? I want to get it so bad.
You know what? Try the Bayside Historical Society. I bet they have it. It's amazing. And have you ever taken the Fort Totten tour?
No.
We should go take it. You and I should go take it.
Yeah, can we record it? You think they would let us?
Why not? Tell them,
Right,
like
yeah.
your guy from Queens. They would love it. Too bad that guy's not there anymore. What
I
a shame
know.
about him.
Is it a paperback or is it a?
It's a paperback.
I don't like paperbacks. I refuse to buy paperbacks. I won't buy a paperback.
Why?
Because paperbacks are. I like a hardbound book. Doesn't do it for me.
It has the same stuff in it.
No, it doesn't.
It
Joe,
does.
no.
Yes.
It creases and it feels cheap.
Okay.
Hate paperbacks. Now I can't buy it.
So I have to bind it and give it to you?
Yeah. I'm actually going to order it now. I'm going to buy it right now.
Did you find it?
Yeah. It's called Bayside, right?
I think so.
If I could log in, if I knew my password.
When Cousin Maddie and Jimmy first built their house, and we would go visit them, there were only 2 houses on their block, and they were surrounded by woods. I mean, it was the country. There were deer all over.
Did you watch that documentary Cropsey that I was talking about a couple months ago?
No.
It's a great document. Do you have Netflix?
No.
You have to watch this documentary. It's about
We have to negotiate the whole Netflix thing,
Yeah.
Andrew. You have to help us with that.
yeah.
Help us out of our
No, it's
Techno-Amishness.
unbelievable. It's about in the 80s these kids went missing, and Cropsey is like the boogeyman.
Mm-hmm.
In like I think it's New Jersey, certain areas of New Jersey, Staten Island, and like the Hudson Valley.
Okay.
They call Cropsey, and it's like the boogeyman.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, this crazy person, was kidnapping the kids and killing them. It's like that story, but they really do it like as if it's like an urban legend, but like it becomes real. It's one of the most well done documentaries I've seen. Most well done, Lon? Is that appropriate? Most well done? Yeah, you can say that. No? Sounds off, but...
You know what? You can say it.
but
doesn't
people
mean you
don't.
should.
Okay.
You could just proper better word choice.
Okay. Lon, can you replace the word most well done with something else?
Yeah, let me think about it.
Okay. I don't know. Time to wrap it up, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
That went quick.
Yeah.
Greatest accomplishment in that particular area.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you,
welcome.
Lon. Thank you, Lon.
All
Go
it
to our
takes is
website.
editing.
Go to our website, guysfromqueens.com. Check out our live broadcasts every day, each and every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at gfglive.tv. Remember to subscribe to us on iTunes, on Stickam. You could hit the follow button, add us as a friend. Subscribe to us. Same thing with Ustream and Justin.tv, guys. It helps us out. We're leaving you, but Lunatic Radio follows us right now.
Hey,
so
Lunatic
stay tuned.
guys.
And we'll see you all next week. And I'm just saying, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.